Well, the hope is that things like wearing a mask and all of that stuff, wearing gloves all the time, I'm hoping that that will become a thing of the past as it's quickly become a thing of our present.
So I'm hoping the vaccine, whether it is that successful or not, is basically just the change point.
I'm hopeful. I feel like we've had a long year and I think it's been properly tested.
I hope it works. And I suppose my fear is that there are side effects that we don't know about yet.
Well, it certainly seems very quick, but just like anything these days, it requires a certain level of trust in the authorities, right? Like you gotta hope that the people who approved it for a reason, and that the benefits outweigh the risks.
I guess hopes it's just getting back to normal, like you're saying. I wouldn't say I have any fears at all. I really do trust the medical community. I think the main concern is like rushing an incomplete product to market, trying to meet the public's needs and doing it in a rushed way, potentially causing more problems like we've had in the past with vaccines. That's probably my biggest concern. As much as I would like to go back to a life without restriction and lockdowns, I just want to make sure that it's done carefully and safely so that we don't have more problems than we already have.
Yes, there's, with any vaccine or anything, there's that tiny bit of a risk that it'll have adverse effects for you. But that's exactly where healthy young people like myself come into the equation, where we are the ones who should be taking the risks so that other people don't have to, right?
I think I would take it, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely take it. I already take the flu vaccine every year because I'm asthmatic, so it's just another seasonal illness, I suppose, or maybe not seasonal, but yeah, I imagine that eventually this will be treated like the flu is now.
Only because I'd sort of assume it's going to become a requirement for doing fun things like travel and such. And as an expat in this country, I want to travel home regularly. But also just to sort of, contribute my little components to the overall minimum population required for the vaccine to be effective, for the crowd effect.
I think it would be a challenge just because there's been so much skepticism and I think misinformation around coronavirus in the first place, and so that's made people so hesitant to A, trust in their government, and B, trust in the medicine as well.
So if it's one or two people refusing to take it, I suppose you can't really ostracize them for that. You can call them out for it, but I don't think you can implement a top-down government strategy and sort of arrest them or keep them in their houses or anything.
You're allowed to do whatever you want to do. At the same time, you shouldn't jeopardize other people.
We're just going to delay all of this normal by having all sorts of discussions about, are they trying to chip us and control us, and is it Bill Gates' conspiracy? And I sort of fear that valuable time will be lost in that process before we get enough people to trust.
We're talking about excluding members of society who have valid concerns about this vaccine and what it's going to do to their health. I think it's easy to say that we should exclude those people because 70% of the population has taken the vaccine. But I think that will cause an even bigger problem if we do that. I mean, historically, excluding certain members of the public from anything has always ended badly. So I don't think that should be the immediate solution.
My hope is that the human race is clever enough to understand that it needs to self-preserve, and people will take the vaccine. We do it with so many other things, and it's worked with things like polio and smallpox throughout history, so touch wood, it will be the same with this.
People's neighbors and friends have a huge effect on these things. If John's had it, I can have it.
I definitely still have questions. I think this has been a year of having questions and having a lot of questions unanswered, so it just makes me hesitant in general, but not kind of excluding either option either way.